Investigators call it the worst case of child starvation they have ever seen. At the 13-month-old girl's time of death, she weighed less than when she was born.
9 pounds at birth, but just 7 pounds when she passed away. The case is truly disturbing for anyone to hear.
An investigator reported the child's body was very frail and small in size. She was wearing a onesie for a 3-month-old. Kayla's father reportedly told a neighbor over the phone outside of the emergency room, quote, "My baby girl died. This is why people throw their babies in dumpsters. They harass you like this when accidents happen." Investigators reported that the smell of urine and feces was overwhelming. There were flies, gnats, and fleas swarming the house, filled with piles of dirty laundry and feces smeared on the walls.
This is Eric J coming at you with street news. No, we ain't professional and neither is this story. So look, a Florida couple was charged with first-degree murder after they starved a 13-month-old daughter to the point that she died weighing less than she did when she was born.
At the 13-month-old girl's time of death, she weighed less than when she was born.
9 pounds at birth, but just 7 pounds when she passed away. The case is truly disturbing for anyone to hear.
CBS 12's Linda Figueredo joins us live now. She investigates from the Palm Beach County Courthouse and has the latest on the discovery that led to her parents' arrest. Linda?
Well, Liz and John, living in feces with little to no food. Newly released documents on this disc detail the deplorable conditions that child was living in and the shocking statements her parents made to investigators that may have led to their arrest.
New black and white images released today show the foul and deplorable conditions 10 children and 2 dogs were found living in with their parents in this rented Loxahatchee home. Court records show on April 1st, Alejandro and Kristen Ailman's 13-month-old daughter, Kayla, died from extreme malnutrition, weighing 2 pounds less than her birth weight. An investigator reported the child's body was very frail and small in size. She was wearing a onesie for a 3-month-old. The report says the child's mother told investigators Kayla was perfectly healthy. 1 minute she was fine, and suddenly she just stopped breathing while in her arms, and now she is dead. According to the recently released files, Kayla's father reportedly told a neighbor over the phone outside of the emergency room, quote, "My baby girl died." According to the neighbor's account, Ailman went on to say, "This is why people throw their babies in dumpsters. They harass you like this when accidents happen." Inside this one-story home on 30th Lane, investigators reported that the smell of urine and feces was overwhelming. There were flies, gnats, and fleas swarming the house, filled with piles of dirty laundry and feces smeared on the walls. In these photos contained within the report, you can see a small, malnourished bulldog found in a rusted feces-filled cage. Investigators found a lack of edible food in the home for the children. The medical examiner ruled Taylor died from lack of food and water. She also suffered from several illnesses, including E. coli, influenza, and pneumonia.
The Ailmans' 9 other children have been taken into DCF custody. Now, the Ailmans pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder charges, along with other charges relating to animal cruelty and child abuse. Their next court case is scheduled for April 3rd. In Palm Beach County, Linda Figueredo, CBS 12 News.
Listen, enough is enough. Y'all had this little girl living inside of a dog cage. This little girl weighed 9 pounds when she was born and 7 pounds when she died. Y'all knew when that doctor wrapped that little girl up in that hospital blanket and handed her to y'all, y'all already knew y'all was gonna kill her. And the father got the nerves to say, this is why people throw their children in a dumpster, because they gotta deal with all these questions, all this stress. Sir, you had your daughter sleeping inside of a dog cage in the basement. Your 1-year-old daughter weighed 7 pounds. I don't understand. What are you talking about? You need to be asked questions. We as the people need to know what you and your wife was doing to that little girl in the basement of their house. And listen, that was a nice house y'all was renting. But I wondered to myself, what was the deciding factors on y'all choosing that house? Was it mandatory that it be isolated? Was it mandatory that it have a basement? You know, since the father don't like to be questioned, I would imagine he don't want to live around nobody. Nobody that's gonna tell him that he's a horrible father and children don't belong in cages. Reports said the little girl was so small she couldn't even crawl. Her bones were so fragile that if she tried to, she would probably break them. She was living in her own feces. She was covered in bug bites. And you frustrated talking about somebody asking you too many questions? What you think what you was doing was normal or something? And the mother, she just as guilty as you. As far as I'm concerned, y'all tag team partners. And listen, these two had 10 kids living in a cage in the basement next to a pit bull, and nobody knew about it. Listen, I got a few questions. Was these kids registered in anybody's school? How did these two get away with this for so long? Why was these 10 kids ignored for so long? And how do you smear feces on the wall? Listen, if you know somebody who works for Child Protective Services, you need to tell them get in touch with me, because it's time to do pop-up visits. And let me tell you something. If I walk into one of y'all houses and y'all got feces smeared on the wall, not only is we gonna take your kids, we gonna take your house and we gonna knock it down.